Capitalism is on a never-ending quest to absolutely minimize expenditures and increase profits to whatever possible levels they can be accomplished. But the question is, doesn't this lead to the ultimate contradiction of capitalism itself? The undermining of the ability of the consumer to purchase those same products that makes the entire system dependent on it for survival? Reducing labor costs, or variable capital, has been the primary way of reducing production costs because it's the cost that is indeed variable. The primary way of doing so is to ship labor jobs overseas, but that in itself has limits. What else can you do? Be a part of an ever-growing trend in the United States to employ children in the manufacturing process by eliminating laws designed to protect children that go back to the 1930s. In the last century or so, child labor has been a hallmark of third-world super-exploitation and sex trafficking. The public face of this effort to put children back into the workforce is Iowa State Senator Jason Schultz. Now, when confronted about these policies of child labor, he doesn't seem too eager to speak about it.
Do you have a quick minute to do,
what is it on?
Quick youth employment.
I'm going to pass on that. I'm just kind of stepping back on that one. I'm going to not get into any conversations. I'm going to stay away from that, although you might find out later why. There you go. There's your tease.
One of the questions that somebody might be asking right now is, well, what kind of jobs are we talking about? Are we talking about a caddy who carries the golf clubs around for a player? Or maybe the teenager who takes the job as the lifeguard at the summer swimming pool? No, we're talking about very dangerous jobs that get people killed. In Maine and Michigan, they want to lower the minimum age required to serve alcohol. In New Jersey, they want to raise the number of hours a teen is allowed to week during the summer. In Minnesota, it would allow 15 to 16-year-olds to work construction jobs. In Iowa, they would let 14 to 15-year-olds work certain jobs in meat packing plants. Well, what are some of the other jobs that are being proposed? Kids would be able to be employed in Iowa meatpacking plants, Coca-Cola bottling plants, and fast foods for more than 30 hours a week. Right under what you would have to pay for full-time and benefits. Iowa Republicans want 14 to 17-year-olds to work in terribly dangerous jobs like rail yards, building demolition, metal formation plants, and construction sites. Just to give you some context, 5,000 people a year are killed on construction sites. So how could you possibly justify this to the public? Well, you could start by calling it an education program set up by the employer itself. Or you could say,
right now kids can be out till 10 o'clock if they're out for a sport or a school activity. And so why are they not able to work until, say, for example, 9 o'clock?
Because they're the same thing, right? This has been pushed by the Iowa Restaurant Association and its lobbyists like Brad Epperly, who also works for the Iowa Grocery Association. And it's being pushed by the Iowa Restaurant Association. So, who are they? It's an affiliate of the National Restaurant Association. They speak on behalf of the largest, most powerful food names in the country, including many of the big-name fast food franchises. They also represent companies like PepsiCo and Cisco. They have extolled the virtues of hands-on internships at local slaughterhouses. This all started with the Iowa Workforce Development Board, overseen by Governor Kim Reynolds. In case you're confused, don't be. This is not an association of workers getting together to talk about workers' rights or workers' issues and how they're affected by them. It's a collection of CEOs and lobbyists who get together several times a year to figure out how to screw the working class. Lower labor costs. This new bill was created by a meeting in November. The Workforce Development Board is led by one Jay Iverson, who is the executive officer of the Association of Iowa Builders. Now you see why there's been so much of a focus to get kids on the construction jobs. The Iowa Association of Businesses and Industry made substantial donations to the Republican Party. Between 2013 and 2023, they've donated over $110,000. They've also given $62,000 to Governor Reynolds. And of course, the Coke industry donations to the Republican Party of $176,000 by way of the Americans Prosperity and Opportunity Solutions Network, because no lack of integrity in capitalism would be complete without the Koch brothers. In what is quite possibly one of the most disgusting examples of this of all, is the desire to lower the age limit necessary to sell alcohol. They want to lower it to 16. So essentially, they want 16-year-old girls working in bars serving drunken adult men. Oh, what could possibly go wrong when you do this? And this is possibly one of the most disgusting examples of it. And what is this situation? This isn't even simply conservatism. This isn't even conserving things the way they are. This is regressive. This is actually going backwards in time to a time when children had less rights. But nothing screams freedom and equality to conservatives like child labor and not having protections against things, because freedom is when you suffer, apparently. But I'm only going by free market logic. Of course, all of this is the general flavor of capitalism itself, and there will be few on the faux left, also known as liberals or liberalist ideologies, that will acknowledge that all of this is caused by capitalism itself. Instead, they see it as some kind of aberration, it's just this one corrupt businessman that's doing it, or a collection of corrupt businessmen in an otherwise perfect system that would never do anything wrong, and that's why we need this kind of regulation to keep those bad things and bad people from happening. But really, in the end, it's kind of hard to deny that the profit motive doesn't have a hand in trying to destroy rights and protections that are given to regular people, let alone those that are keeping children out of dangerous factories, construction sites, and metal fabrication plants. But this, according to capitalism, is all just a part of the plan. Reporting from Niagara Falls, Jason Unruhe, MRN.
Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.